Remember Me is brimming with promise. It desperately wants to play with some lofty philosophical ideas.
Good day. Can you hear me?
Like the fallibility of memory and the constructed nature of identity. But while that ambition is certainly admirable, it never really fulfills its true potential. You get the feeling it'd make a better movie than it does a game, because the gameplay lacks the originality to keep up with the concept. In a futuristic version of Paris, memories have become digital commodities. Huge corporations have frightening access to everyone's past, and junkies, addicted to the recollections of others, subsist in fetid sewers. And you play as Nilin, a memory hunter who's had her past erased. The world is vibrant and distinctive, and it's a potentially fascinating dystopia, where the mind has soured, but we never really get to explore it. It's such a shame, because I'm genuinely curious about the world of Remember Me. The decline of its city into madness, and the plight of its forgetful people is suggested in the well-crafted cutscenes. Each shop sign has been thoughtfully designed, and the camera angle is artfully controlled. But it all lacks a degree of genuine interactivity, and the story really doesn't make the most of its premise. Remember Me only occasionally makes the most of its subject matter, making us feel like the skilled manipulator of memories that our character, Nilin, is supposed to be. These are the memory remix sequences, of which there are just 4 in the entire game. Here, you don't control Nilin directly. Instead, you scrub through an interactive timeline of someone else's past, changing details to effectively rewrite their recollection of past events. Even though there's a significant element of trial and error to these sections, they work really well. I felt like I was dabbling with the memories of others, reshaping their version of reality. This is when Remember Me really feels like a distinct experience. But these moments are few and far between. The bulk of gameplay is composed of competent but unremarkable combat, and some quite bland platforming sections. It all works, fundamentally, and I hit no significant glitches, but it fails to really satisfy or thrill. After a while, fighting horde after horde of similar enemies just becomes tedious. Combat isn't expressive, and consists largely of learning and repeating 4 pretty straightforward combos. Simple can still be satisfying though, take Rocksteady's Batman games for example. But Remember Me even forgets to include a parry system, so it constantly makes me feel like I'm evading my attackers instead of taking them on. Nilin's fighting style just isn't that interesting to watch either. What nuance there is to combat comes from entering the Combo Lab, a place where you can freely customize your attacks with effects that inflict damage, regenerate health, or cool down one of your more powerful attacks. This system makes the relentless combat situations a tad more interesting, but once I unlocked enough upgrades to dedicate a combo to each perk, I never needed to return to the Combo Lab again. When you're not fighting, you're climbing, but none of this traversal is remotely exciting. There's no suspense, nothing breaks, nothing gives way, and Nilin makes every single jump. But what's more undermining is these chevrons that constantly tell you which ledge you should jump to next. It's so insistent that it has quite a destructive effect on the atmosphere. I wanted to explore, to rummage around in all the interesting shops and back alleys, but there's no scope to do so. Remember Me is a likeable game that tries to tell a deeply personal story in a thoughtfully fashioned world. But ultimately, it never managed to challenge or excite me as a game. What's the point of playing as a memory hunter if I rarely feel like one?
Let's play another game.
I'd love to spend more time in this world, sampling its fiction and tasting some of its big ideas. But unfortunately, I can't say the same for the gameplay, which is very, very forgettable. For more on Remember Me, don't forget to visit IGN.